Hello there, it's Kurzuk from Kurzuk Studio here. In this episode, I'd like to discuss some bits and pieces which I'm addressing at the moment. Some of them emerged from the recent playtest and some of them were planned before. Expect this episode to be a mix of everything really, with more updates in the next episode. Also, your support means a lot, so if you can hit that thumbs up and subscribe buttons, that will really help to spread the word about this game. So, some time ago I was pointing out that I'll be changing some character animations, and that's what I'd like to start with here, the running animation. I created this version about a year ago, and honestly after the first look at it in action, I was able to say that it must be changed. The poor fella is like running on bent knees all the time. Even looking at it was a bit of a torture, though I left it as is up until recently, when I started to polish things up for the demo. I found some keyframes for running and drew all the frames again. Not from scratch though, as his top part was kinda fine. Just needed a bit of tuning here and there. In the end I got this hideous krakenish thing which I had to build into an actual sprite sheet. Thanks to some scripts which I prepared a while back, it's not a big deal really. By the way, I also changed the head position, as previously the guy was like sniffing around while running. So in the end, I got this running animation. Please share your thoughts in the comments on this one. Do you think it should be further worked, or is it fine like that? I'd really appreciate it. Continuing with animations, there is another thing I fixed recently, and it's the transfer animation. Well, in fact not the animation itself, as it stayed the same, but the transfer execution order, let's say. Pretty much whenever the guy crosses the street or rounds the corner of a building, two animations are supposed to play: walk in and walk out. They are actually the same animations for walking up and down the path. Though, when I was introducing the ability to walk up and down a path, and just in case it wasn't a thing up until recently, as the guy could move only on the x-axis, or left or right in other words, when I was introducing it, I accidentally broke the transfer animation. And as with similar things, it was like, easy fix, we'll do later. Well, later is now, so that's done, and indeed it was quite a straightforward fix. Now, the next one came out of the playtest. When you leave your apartment in the very beginning of the game, you end up on the street of Zona 3, with loads of ads around. And it's not just ads, but also arrows. The arrows are supposed to point to different shops. I was trying to place them a bit chaotic, as I'm planning to add more ads in the future to create some feeling of space scarcity. Anyway, the quest at the time is to reach a taxi, and the feedback which I got was that the arrows are quite misleading. For instance, one of the arrows was interpreted as a guide to move left, which it is not. There is also a way block shortly after the arrow, not that it completely blocked the player, but it created a bit of confusion. So I decided to place this taxi arrow here to make it more clear that arrows are showing the direction to a place, but not guiding you to a quest point. Again, give a shout if you think otherwise. There is also one thing I'd like to add in terms of a tutorial, and that is to explicitly point out the fact that the character is supposed to move to the corner of the building in order to round it, or in the case of the first street crossing, move to the side of the road in order to cross it. I'm talking about introducing one of these tutorial texts, and to be honest, that came to my mind while I was working on this episode. That's really it for this video. I actually have more to go through, but I'll do it in, let's say, logical chunks. Next week will be all about fixes and improvements to the terminal minigame, so stay tuned if you're curious what will be there. Have a very nice day, night, or whichever time of day it is for you now, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.